What's up, y'all? I'm Quincy. We are on day 3 of the 30-day challenge of redesigning a company's website, social media card, marketing collateral, anything I could find of that company. Now, how do we get here? Well, I was laid off back in November at my amazing company, Dow Jones, the Wall Street Journal, and I haven't been able to find work ever since. I'm a principal designer, design lead, design manager, and I haven't been able to land a role, find a job, or less, get an offer. I mean, I've had a few interviews, but nothing has come through, which is super surprising, knowing that I've been in this industry about 15, 20 years, and this is the first time really getting laid off. Anyway, so we are on this journey, and we're gonna redesign a company's website, social media card, marketing collateral of someone who's rejected me. So some company essentially says, no, Quince, we don't want your services. Well, okay, I got it. I'm gonna redesign something of yours. So it's gonna be funny. Come on this journey with me and let's do this. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. So we're in my email. There was one that came in, I believe it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. I had one today, which is this one, and we'll get into that at some point. But there was another one that came in. Here we go. Genworth. Thank you very much for your interest, yada, yada. So your application was not selected for further consideration at this time. Wow. So Genworth, all right. So that's just, it is what it is. I understand Genworth, but let's take it to your website. Let's see what it looks like. Here we go. Here's Genworth. So we empower families to navigate the aging journey with confidence. So I used to work for a company called Gentiva Health Services, and it was a home health company. And it was super dear to my heart, just home health aides, and just dealing with, the sick or the elderly. And I did their website. I did a lot of their marketing collateral also. So I have a soft spot when it comes to healthcare, especially with an older generation. So anyway, Genworth, here we go. So you have Genworth, nice logo, like the logo. You have links on top, which are bold links. Then you have this menu, which is the mega menu that comes up, little underline underneath the link for the navigation. And then we have magnifying glass, pay online. What magnifying glass, of course, is search, but pay online and log in with the drop down. But when you hover over the drop down, hover over the actual link, there's nothing that appears. Same thing with the call button, phone button. And I could see that using an old icon as far as an old description where it's really a landline phone instead of a mobile telephone. I get it. It's an older generation that you're after, essentially. So this makes sense. But I believe every older adult essentially has a cell phone. So you click login, this menu appears. It's very different feel from their entire website. The background is black. It's just a different feel, essentially. So for call, different type of experience. So it's really 3 different type of experiences that are happening in this menu. You have your basic mega menu going, which is white background, black links essentially, which is nice, absolutely nice. And it flows to each and every one of these links. But when you get to log in, completely different experience. That's not what you want to do. That's not what a company wants to do when they are creating these experiences for their users. You want there to be, patterns. You want there to be similarness between, each element essentially. So then you get to contact us, different experience. It's actually like the previous experience for the other navigation menu items, but you got to click it in order to get to it essentially. All right, so let's go down the page. So now you have this hero that spans the whole website, which is nice. But one of the things that I don't get is the image. It's not very clear. It's a little pixelated. It's a little stretched out. You could see it. It's not using a high res graphic. high-res image. That's what you want, especially with a hero image. You want high-res images so people can see it clearly. Clarity is a big key to the experience. And then you have We Empower Families. They have this either drop shadow or overlay behind it, essentially. Then you were scrolling down, check your claim status. So you have these 3 boxes in here, which is great, which is awesome. So, but one of the things I see that is off, it's everything is center aligned here. Everything's center aligned here, but you go to the top, and that's left aligned. This text is left aligned, and then you come down here, and it's center aligned. So we want to create patterns across the site where everything is essentially the same. And it's just easier when you're designing these things to already have this in mind. And this is why design systems are, pretty key, because everything is the same across the site. So you're not having to change different elements. You're not having to create patterns all over again. It is all the same. So here, as we keep going, login buttons, CTAs, great, nice. But underneath, now you have this pattern going. So you go from an image to this background pattern. I don't know what this background pattern is. I'm not into it. I worked for a company called Verus that had essentially the same, not the same, triangle pattern, but it wasn't like this. Verus was a lot more elegant in their choices for triangles. Then keep scrolling down the page, and you get to this swath of color, blue color, and this is their primary color, which is this. I like the blue; it's a beautiful blue. But now you get to this image here. Why is this image essentially this far from the left? And if you're scrolling down from one element to the next, you see it lines up. But this image here is not lining up at all. What is the deal? Why is this image lining up? I'm not too sure. Not too sure at all. And then you have a logo, Care Scout, and I already know this is one of their brands, essentially, Care Scout, helping you find quality care, which is great, awesome. We keep scrolling down, and now we have another image background. Our employees are what make us different. What I like when images are like this is as you keep scrolling down, that image is moving, either up or down, essentially, so it shows you more of the image. But this one's just very static. It just stays there. Completely just stays there. So here we go. So our employees are what makes us different. And then you have this lined underneath, which is white. Why do I talk about that? Because we go to the top, we see that this line is, the separator is blue, is that primary blue. When you get here, now it's white. So we're introducing another pattern. That's not what you want. We want to introduce similar patterns across our website, essentially, all the time. So also, for Care Scout, if you notice the alignment as you keep going down, it's not aligned. Everything's not. So essentially, I'm not too sure if they're using a grid at all. It doesn't look like it. It looks like, things are just being plopped where they want to go, essentially. We want to do things in a grid all the time. We want to do things in a grid. So let's keep going down. Now you have social responsibility. Here's that separated blue color here. Great. That works. You have, your copy here. Latest from newsroom, copy here. And then we come here, and now we have a different thing going on. And it's okay to have different things, but now you have this drop shadow behind it, much like this drop shadow is behind these words up here. But now it's behind this complete box, which also now we're introducing a border. A border, right? A border. And then if we look within the text, Genworth Financial announces third quarter 2024 results. So my question is, why are we using title case when it's a sentence? This is a sentence. And for each and every one of these are sentences, but there's not using sentence case. we're using title case down here. I mean, yeah, title case down here. Title case, but this is sentence case, right? I believe it has to be sentence. And we're going to put a period at the end. And some of the other things we noticed, November 06. Why is the 0 there? Why is the 0? I'm not too sure. Why is the 0 there? Also, November 7th, 7. November 7th. Shouldn't there be a TH at the end? Listen, I'm no copywriter, even though I had that role, years and years ago. But same thing, August 1. We want to put August 1st, right? August 1st. Great. Now, down here, what do we have going on down here? This is a footer. As you know in the previous videos, footers are very important. You can give a lot more information there. But now we're introducing this black pattern. There's a black, dark color to a generally friendly website. Maybe they have different companies. I work for a company called Verisk. They had different companies, and essentially they wanted the footer to be the same across every company. And it was a black, color. So I understood that. But why this black? Because there's no, aside from the text color, there is no black background. So now you have a black background. And I like, they're separating their links into categories here. Aging and long-term care products, our company for individuals, need help, call us. That's great, right? But then now we have a separator, more links, and then we have a disclaimer down here, and then we have our registered information, copyright information. So I believe we could do a lot more. We could do a lot better here in this footer, essentially. All right, so that is the overview of their site, and yeah, we're gonna change it. So get ready, let's go. All right, here we go. So we're in Figma. Let's create a frame. 1512 by 982, but we're gonna switch that at least 3000 going down. All right. Now let's pull in our reference image, which is their website. All right, now we got their reference in here. All right, cool. So let's get their logo. Already downloaded their logo. Let's get it. All right, something like that. We got 250. Let's get our grid going. We're gonna go columns, change this color. It doesn't matter, just something light so we can see it. All right, cool. Columns gonna put 12, margins 30. All right, so now we are on our grid, essentially. All right, so aging you products, customer service claims about us, magnifying glass search, pay online, login, and call. What I want to do is I want to take these and separate them. I want there to be a top menu. I want there to be a main menu. The top menu would have the search, pay online, login, and call. Then the main menu would be the other items down here. So let's create that top menu. And we're going to make this into a blue, essentially. Their primary blue. What color is their primary blue? Let's see. This is their primary blue color. All right. Oops. Add that. Just name it primary blue. We want to be this to be 35 pixels, right? 35 pixels work. All right. So now let's create some links. Let's remove our grid for a sec. And I already have some links already set up. So what I'm doing at this current moment is I'm creating the main navigation, making sure it matches with the website, accounts and trade, working out my spacing, putting 5 elements, renaming them, and they're all coming from a component, which is great. Easy peasy. And I'm gonna move this menu over to the right, align it to the grid. I'm naming style token that I created. I'm just aligning it to the right. 25 works. All right. So now I want to create a top menu, which would be here. In that top menu, these links would be white, essentially. And let's see. And this would be, I think it's pay online. Yeah. Pay online. So now I keep editing this top menu. Essentially, all the links are going to be white, but I want to make sure I bring in my component. I have a pay online. I have the icon for the phone. You know, the icon's not a mobile phone. It's actually a regular landline telephone. You know, speaking of that generation, the older generation, they're used to it. So I understand. We're going to keep those drop downs in there, but instead of a user having to click it, they just roll over it and it would drop down. So that's the idea. So now I'm just aligning it to the grid, make sure it aligns to the right, or the layouting it, you know, putting everything together, working out the spacing, and that's both of our menus. 25. All right. So now we have top menu and we have our main menu. So if you look over here, now we separated the content, you know, to let people really know and understand main links and top links. Top links is something that you will see, and the main menu will be able to be sticky, so it can scroll essentially. So now what I want to get to is our hero. This is it's cool. This is not what I want though. You know, I really want to utilize. Let me pull in their logo for a second. So their logo is a circle. It's a circle. It's a sun, essentially. It's unique. It's nice, but it's a circle. You know, so it gives curve vibes. Even though there's points, you know, there's different points, and we can do a lot with those points. We could put images in those points. Those points can be accents on certain, you know, cards, essentially. But I want to use that circle, essentially. That's here. You know, that means growth. You know, circle means care. It means love. You know, it's not rough around the edges as far as square is concerned. So that experience is a little bit more gentler, you know, experience. So what I want to do is I want this hero, I want multiple images up here. So not just this one image, I want multiple images. And I want to really bring in circles to make that happen. So let's do this. We're going to bring in some circles, and these circles are actually going to be images, right? These are all going to be images. So essentially, we'll put a circle here. Let's put an image in it for now. So fill image. I already downloaded a few images of some folks, older folks. I'm just looking for each and every image right now. There's a particular image I want for this first position of this older couple, older Asian couple. I found it. And we're gonna, that's amazing. We're gonna make this 430. 430. All right, so 430, we want to align this to the grid on the left, that left column. And let's bring in some other images. Just gonna duplicate this out, make this a little smaller. We'll put an image here, we'll put an image here, make this smaller. this one smaller. Let's utilize this size again, but we'll probably make it just a little bigger. Move things over. So now we have circle images, many images on here. And these, we could do a lot with these images here, a lot with these circles. If someone scrolls over them, you know, that information, there can be text in there, you know, that can come out where a background opacity, you know, kind of, you know, essentially color blocks the image, the text appears, and we could read the text. There could be a link in there, it could go somewhere else. We can hover over it. There could be a video in there that can play. So there's a lot of things that we can do with these bubbles. And one of the great thing is I believe they should be like moving around. So as you get on the screen, they're like just moving around. You know, they're just moving around. All of them are just, you know, moving around and circling essentially. So, but there is a main message that's in here that we want to get to. Now I'm just aligning all the images, making sure they're in placement where I want them. And I'm going to start replacing each photo, each picture with a different image that I've downloaded from Pexels. Shout out to Pexels. You guys are thebomb.com. And here I am bringing in some more photos. I mean, just gorgeous, amazing, beautiful, picturesque photos. You want this, you know, if you have a website like this. And there's a beautiful lady. Seems like she's going through a doorway. She's smiling, you know, just giving all the vibes. You know, she's just happy to be there. There she is. Look at that. Beautiful, beautifully. All right. Then we have, just waiting for it to replace. And then we have an older Asian couple. I should use him. There they are. Just went to the flower shop. He bought her flowers. She's super excited. There's a story. There's a story behind every image. Awesome. All right, now this last big one, that couple that's walking through the forest. They're walking through the forest. They're having a good time. They're staring at each other. And it actually looks like a son and a daughter. I mean, a son and his mother. But it's a beautiful image. There it is. Perfect. Waiting for it to replace. Booyah. Perfect. So now we have quite a few images going on up here. So it's a different aesthetic, a different feel to it, welcoming feel, you know, to all of this. People all on life's journey, you know, all doing different things. You know, when someone comes to a website or anything that you're introducing to them or putting in front of them, you want them to be able to associate it with it right away, right? That's the association that has to happen, you know, because they want to feel it's them. It's speaking to them, to their situation, to what's going on in their life. So these images are that, exactly that. All, you know, multiracial, all different backgrounds, all, you know, just different. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Now we want to put this message in here. We empower families to navigate the aging journey with confidence. That's what we need. That's what we want. So let's get some text going on. Now I'm adding in my text. We empower families to navigate the aging journey with confidence. So I want to add some text in here. Well, the actual text that's on the hero, and really just because the text could be anything. And the thought is that this text and actually this whole frame up top, this whole hero up top can change. The text can change. The images can change. The images could bounce around. So we're adding a separator to that text just to give it a little bit more unique characteristic and to carry that forward. All right, cool. So now we want to get these 3 cards in. claim your claim status, research costs of care, explore coverage needs. So let's get that in here. And now we're going to copy the copy from the website and bring it in here. But now a thought came in. And the thought that came in is I want there to be a separation of content, but I want it to look unique. I don't want it just to be a rectangular content area, cut out. Why not make it as unique as their logo is with the curves? Let's put some curves in here and really allow it just to, feel different. Curves bring care. It's not rigid, it's not edge, it's just care. So we're bringing this, to a care perspective. I'm bringing a care element to it. Oh, one thing I want to bring in the background, I want their logo to be in the background. Let's see. And now it almost looks like water. And above the water, you have these bubbles. I mean, that's just a thought as I place these transparent logos beneath the circles. Pretty unique element, for the top of this website. There we go. There we go. We're going to bring this up essentially. Yep, there we go. All right. All right, so different flow. We're utilizing these curves. These curves mean care, they mean love, they mean all of that and then some. All right. So now, let's get our text going. Now I'm going to flow in the rest of rest of their copy. I'm going to make this text white. I wanted to stand above that blue background and also for it to be accessible. Accessibility is number one when we're creating something. So now put the description in. I have the H1 title. Both are now stylized. I'm going to put the link at the bottom, and the link I'm going to make it's going to be a button. CTA. There's going to be 3 different iterations, one with the blue background, one with just outline, which is with blue, and then another just black, as you'll see later on. But essentially I want these cards to just lay right on top of this blue background. Pretty easy. And we're just going to just duplicate this twice across, making sure the spacing is right, make sure it looks right, make sure it's acting right, make sure it's aligning to the grid. Here's that button. Figma is a fabulous tool, easy tool to work with. All right, so now I had a little something behind there by accident, aligning it to the grid. But now I want some dividers between each of these. So there's a separation of content. So those dividers are white, text is white, link is white. Pretty awesome. Now just working out the spacing. I'm gonna just put 30 pixels on the end of it just to give it some breathing room. And look at that. Now we have our hero and those 3 cards essentially. And it just flows together. I mean, all of it just flows perfectly together. All right, so we're going to change this image. What do I want it to be? Maybe there doesn't need to be an image up there, right? Because we have so many images up here. So why don't we let's just create another blue. So I'm going to create another blue background here. to contain that new content area. We're going to bring in that Care Scout logo. Actually, let's create the right-hand portion first, right? So let's do that. So we're going to just copy one of these, bring that over there. Get over here. All right, so I'm going to create that content area on the right-hand side. Make sure it lines to our grid. I'm going to copy over that text. Make sure I have it correct. Change the title. I'm going to change the link also. View Care Scout. Now I'm thinking about the left-hand side. What do? I don't want an image, but what about if I just put that logo? I mean, that logo is pretty nice. And, you know, for people just to understand what it is they're looking at when they get down the page. Care Scout is a part of this company. So, and that looks good. You know, just the logo there, no image, because we have our images at the top. And then we're bringing right from the top, it's content, those 3 cards, and now more content. So no need for an image. We want the people to know this is Care Scout. This is their registered brand. And now we're just gonna put a divider in between those sections just to separate the content. And it looks awesome. Just working out the spacing, making sure everything at the top and below that is the same. And that's what auto layout does, right? But also I just want to make sure that the top aligns also, making sure that Care Scout, that content area is at center. And that looks good. I mean, we're just working out the spacing, making sure the size is good. Size is important. All right. Now I'm just standing back looking, comparing it to what's on the left, then on the right. That looks great. You know, so we have our 3 cards up here, not in this type of flow. And then we have Care Scout down there. So one of the things that's happening, and I know we move things down, right? We move things down the page, but I'm hoping this becomes more content that we're able to serve, you know, the user. So it's just not one essential message. We empower families. There can be multiple messages up here. As someone scrolls, the bubbles, you know, can move around. Text could come out, you know, from that, you know, from a opacity. That image, you know, sinks back into the background. The color block comes up. Text comes over it. You know, so a lot can happen up there, and not just one image. All right, so here we go. What our employees, what makes us different? So I want to still utilize this white space. I don't want there to be any type of clutter. I don't want there to be any type of, you know, any type of, you know, I just don't want anything in there. You know, I want there to be just white. So I already have an image prepared that we could bring in. And let me get it. And here's this image. Because it's employees, right? It's about the employees. So I just want to align this. There we go. That's a line. So now we're bringing something in, people in. You know, we didn't put images in here at all. You know, much like the here for their website, they have image here, image here, image here. We're not doing that. You know, we want our copy to tell the story. We want our hierarchy of our text H1s to tell the story. You know, Care Scout to tell the story. And then as they scroll down, like, oh wow, some employees. You know, what are the employees saying? Our employees are what makes us different, right? That's absolutely awesome and amazing. You know, and there's this message over here, and there's a search for jobs there. So let's still utilize this here. Let's bring it down here. And of course, it is a different color. So we are going to break it, and we didn't make a block. So let's here. That's exactly what I want. Um, Completely what I want. But we're gonna make this. We're gonna get another button in here, just so. Um, Now we're just making our link color black, actually component black, button component black, replacing it with that previous button. And now we're going to get into right below that, which is our corporate social responsibility. Make sure this text, it's a little different. It's a little bigger than the text above, but because I want it to stand out more. So essentially it's another element that we're just bringing forth. Naming the style, making sure it aligns to the grid. We are grid aware. That's just who we are, grid aware. We're going to merge these together, auto layout. Now we're going to get into our corporate social responsibility. And with corporate social responsibility, as you're going to see, there is another element to it. I've been on their website and they have a CSR report PDF. And knowing that they are CSR being compliant, well, really, just understanding it, they have to have a PDF. They have to have a report that they generated. And in that report, there's got to be icons and there has to be data. So I want to bring out this data from their report, as you're going to see in a second, and bring it to their website. Just another element. Nothing I'm creating. It's just stuff that's already there. And they already have the icons. There's one icon that I'm going to create. And this is the report, their corporate social responsibility report that you're going to see. So these numbers, icons, is what we're going to bring in, this data that we're going to bring in. Pretty awesome element that they have. Volunteerism, I love it. So this is their Sustainable Compassion and Care 2023 Sustainable Report. This is part of their CSR program. And I've done reports like this before specifically for corporate social responsibility CSR report for a company called Verisk, and I put together the whole thing from first page, from cover to cover, essentially cover to back cover. So I know that there are icons in here that they use with information. So I already know, because that's what you do. So here it is. Their volunteerism. I love it. They had 5,500 approximately total hours volunteered by associates, 37% associate participation in volunteerism, 630 plus nonprofits served globally. That's tremendous. Great work, Genworth. Great work. So I want to highlight these numbers, and there's one other number here, 200 plus hours that Gen Associates volunteered with Feed More by supporting meal preparation, packaging, and distribution to Meals on Wheels, and other clients. All right, that's awesome, absolutely awesome. So I want to bring over this information and these icons, and I'm going to create an icon that would represent this 630. All right, so, and I already did this. Just speed the process up, right? Just want to speed the process up. Where am I going? Jeez, I'm going to Figma again. Sorry. All right. So, and I already grouped these together. Now I'm just going to bring in those data points with those icons, line everything up, make sure everything is auto layouted, understand the spacing, but those icons bring so much to it. The numbers on that icon, so people understand it. And it makes so much sense for it to be right below the employee card. Makes so much sense. I'm going to put a separator essentially in the middle of those, but it's pretty awesome. You know, to be corporate socially responsible as a company, that's tremendous. So just bringing this opacity down a little bit. It was a little too stark for me. And just going from edge to edge, you know, putting everything together. And now I have everything together. Just going to work out some spacing, making sure everything really from top to bottom is spaced evenly. It's important, super important, especially as far as patterns and creating that eye tracking pattern for a user. All right, cool. Look at that, guys. We are. It looks good. It looks good. I know beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, but I am the beholder, and it looks good. All right, so let's get this box. We want there to be latest from our newsroom. So complete change of content. You know, now we're going from, you know, our employees to social responsibility and now to corporate stuff. So I want to separate the corporate stuff so it just looks a little different. Still flows with this white, clean aesthetic that we have going on, but I want it to be different, right? So let's just get now I'm just going to put a swath of color, an actual box of color, but I want it to be subdued. I don't need it to be so stark. It's essentially not like the black on the other end that's in the footer. I want it to be light, airy, to flow from that white to the next section. But understanding that it is a new section, and that's why we're just putting a block of color, essentially. And we're still going to, much like we did with those 3 cards at the top, the text is literally going to lay right on top of this color. And then we're just copying the text over, the copy over, put that link in. So right now, if you go to their website, that whole portion is a link. So I want the user to know that where the link is, and it's underlined, it's got some carrots on it, and it says learn more. So you don't have to click the old thing or have to understand, oh, the whole thing is clickable. No, it's just the link that we're doing is clickable. And we're fixing, you know, it says November 06. We're going to fix that. So it says November 6th. We want to make sure that this copy, the description, is sentence case and not title case. You know, we want to make sure anything as far as descriptors or paragraphs is really sentence case with a period, correct punctuation at the end. And this is, you know, we're bringing a divider, much like we have a divider at the top, we're bringing a divider here also. A divider is just going to be this little, that primary blue color, aligning everything, make sure everything lines up, make sure everything is evenly spaced, making sure it lines to the grid. We're changing these dates. And I'm thinking about, we should make them probably a little bit bigger. Right now, we'll make them 14. They were at 12 or 10, one of the two. But this looks so much nicer. There's no box, there's no drop shadow, there's no border. This is just simple, easy, elegant, nice, persuasive. You know, it with those icons at the top, it just flows. Everything just flows together. And this is what you want in the website, just flowing together. It's in the middle, lines up, perfect. Oh gosh, look at that. We're almost done. Looks great, man. Looks great. A lot cleaner, a lot brighter, a lot beautiful. Beautiful. All right. So last thing we're going to do is the footer. So again, getting rid of the dark footer. We're going to keep these categories going on, every one of them. I'm going to bring in the logo, which will probably be on the left-hand side. This information, not sure what we're going to do with it. But these icons, we could probably, well, we'll change them. So they'll be color icons. The copyright information we'll put right below the logo. And this information here we'll probably put at the bottom. All right, so let's just start to do it. So now I'm just going to bring the logo down. I want that logo to be on the bottom, much like it is on the top. I'm going to bring those links in. Clean, just simple links, gray links. The title is just a little bigger than the actual links. Putting everything here together, make sure it aligns to the grid. You know, those social icons are now color. Now I want to bring that copyright information right below the logo. That's where I need to be. And now that swath of disclaimer text, you know, well, actually those links, terms of use and everything else, we're going to put right below that. But where do we do? I'm trying to figure out where do we do with this disclaimer text? Should we keep it on top? Should we put it on the bottom? Should we put it in underneath Genworth? I'm not too sure, but I'm deciding that the best way forward is for it to be at the bottom. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I think we are done. It's a wrap. Look at this. Sheesh. Comparison. What do you think? New design, old design. A lot of things happening and going on here. That's not happening here. Colors are different. Those blues seem to be different. So we just simplified things and made it a lot more airy, a lot cleaner, a lot more visually appealing. So this is awesome. All right, let's just gonna bring this up. Man, it's good. This is good. This is very good. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's preview it. And it's a wrap.